In this section, let's review what HTML attributes are. So we're going to pause real quick, and what you're going to do is you're going to type up the definition of what HTML attributes are, how you write HTML attributes, and then list off as many HTML attributes as you can remember. Again, that's number one, what's the definition of HTML attributes? Number two, how do we write HTML attributes? And then number three, list off as many HTML attributes as you can. All right, so let's go to W3 Schools since we've been using this website a lot. Attributes in HTML provide additional information about an element. Again, the way we write it is we always put it inside the start tag. So in this case, right, the href attribute goes in the start tag and never goes in the end tag here. The other thing is that we're always going to write them in name value pairs like this, right? Where the name of the attribute in this case is href, and the value here is https www.w3schools.com. All right, next let's go over a couple of HTML attributes that we've learned in this club so far. There's a lot more than what we've actually learned, but as we continue learning more about web development, we'll come across those attributes and we'll learn more about it at that time. So the first one that we're going to go over is one that we just saw. It's the href attribute. And href attributes are used to link either to external websites, like we have in this case, right, where we can link to w3schools.com, or as we've learned a couple of weeks ago, we could also use it as a link to other parts of this web page. We're not going to go over that right now, but if you have forgotten it, go back to the previous week where we talked about nav elements and how to use hrefs to link to different sections of a web page. Next, we have the source attribute, so it's src, and what this does is it tells the HTML element, in this case the image element, where to find the content for that element. So in this case, it's using an image girl picture that is in a local location. If I want to link to an external image, then I can go to something like pexels.com, copy the image address, and then paste it in, and I'll get that as well. Cool. So the next thing is size attributes. So we've also learned about the width and the height for something like images. And that's pretty straightforward, right? If I want to change the width or maybe the height of something, then that's how I do it. The second to last one is the alt attribute. And essentially what happens is if there is an image that doesn't actually exist, so for example, if I take this away, then it's going to show the alt text instead of the picture. This is important because some people can't actually see the screens if they're blind, and so they use things called screen readers to interact with web pages. And so whenever the screen reader gets to this HTML element, it's actually going to read out this alt text to them instead. And finally, what we learned about last week is the style attribute. And so with the style attribute, we're able to use inline CSS. And the way we do that is we do the name of the CSS property, colon, and then the value of the CSS property. So in this case, it's saying that the color of this HTML element, the text is going to be red. And so if we wanted to change it, we can do something like this and change it to green. Great, so hopefully everything here has just been a review for you and you fully understand everything. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the CSS review now.